guys, so today I'm back with a movie recommendations video. Before I even get started with the movies, I want to say these movies are not for everyone. They all deal with sex, so they're definitely not for every audience. That being said, let's go. First movie I want to talk about is Mysterious Skin. I watched the movie and I read the book, and both of them left me in a state of whoa, what did I just witness? What did just happen? Both of them are very powerful and very strong, but I'm going to focus on the movie, obviously, because that's a movie recommendation video, but I can only encourage you to read the book as well. It's the story of two young boys who are very, very different. One of them is called Neil and was raped and abused by his baseball coach when he was about 8. After this incident, he has become, a prostitute and is addicted to sex. The second protagonist is very different. He's very shy and has nothing to do with sex at all. He thinks he's been abducted by aliens when he was younger because that's the day that he doesn't remember, and there have been some strange things happening to him, and he's trying to find the truth, and he's trying to find how, when, why. This quest of, truth and answers will lead him to meet Neil, and soon you will see what's the link between these two. I've never really seen a movie that treats the topic of, child rape in such a way that's so close and faithful to reality and to the complexity of it, and to the complexity of human psyche. There's no easy way, no easy transformation. There's no dichotomy in this movie. It is a very hard movie to watch because it's very violent and there's a lot of sexual content in it, and there are scenes that obviously can be very disturbing. I felt like I was about to throw up at some point, like really I felt like I was going to throw up, and that was almost too much for me to watch because I was really violent. I'm a really sensitive person, but I think that would be the case for most people watching that movie. However, it's a very beautiful movie. The thing that I really remember is probably, I want to say, the light. I feel like they add something very special. Colors are also very important and very interesting. The music is really great too. The characters are all very complex, diverse. There's no very stereotypical character, which is always good. The actors are brilliant. You can only be admirative of their work when you've seen the movie. As much as I love this movie, I don't talk about it very well, but Lorraine did, so I'm gonna leave a link to her blog. She used to do videos on YouTube. She still writes sometimes on her blog, so definitely check it out. She's amazing and she writes very well about movies, and she's very interesting. Second movie I want to talk about has been recommended by a subscriber, so thank you very much. It is called Lilya Forever, and it was a pain to find online. That being said, it was completely worth searching for it for hours, because that movie moved me so freaking much. There are a bunch of reasons why I love that movie. It is Swedish, but takes place for the most part in Russia, and is 98% in Russian. And if you know me, you know I love Russia and I love Russian culture, even though there are many things obviously I disagree with in Russia. The second reason why I love that movie is because of the topic. It is the story of a young girl who's 16 and who's called Lilya, and she's been abandoned by her mother, who was left for the States and left her all alone apart from her aunt in a very small town in Russia. Her aunt is awful, nothing you should call a family, and she basically puts her on the street. She very soon becomes almost homeless. She has only one friend, who is a little boy who's I think 2 or 3 years younger than her, and who is also kind of an orphan. It's a very interesting topic because they have family, but they are considered and should be considered as orphan, which is actually a real issue in Russia, because most children in orphanages, they have family, but they don't want to take care of them, or they are forced to give them up to orphanage, which is a very important issue in Russia. Lydia soon has no other choice but to have sex to get money. At night she's out doing her job. She meets a guy who's called Andrei. She falls in love with him, and you would think that's a great thing, and suddenly you realize that just more shit is going to happen. So that movie is awfully sad, awfully sad, awfully realistic. If Mysterious Skin is really difficult to watch because of the violence and because of the violence of the scenes you see, I think Lilya Forever is more difficult to watch because of the heartbreaking situation in which these kids are. It is so true and so faithful to reality once again, and when you watch that movie, you're absorbed by the story itself. by the story of Lilya, but you cannot help and think how many young girls and how many young boys are there in Russia or in the world living that, having to go through that. That left me so empty, and like, you know, I felt like I wasn't even in France anymore. I felt like I wasn't even myself anymore. I felt like I was in Russia, like I was Lilya. And when a movie makes you feel that way, I can only mean one thing, that it's a great movie. The third movie I want to talk about is Shame. It's not really a recommendation because I didn't really like that movie, but I thought I could throw it in there because it deals with sex as well, and with a subject that I think is really interesting and should be talked more often about, and it's sexual addiction. That's why I decided to watch that movie, because I think it's an important topic, because you know, addiction that are not caused by a substance, I think, are not taken seriously enough, and sexual addiction is such a shameful thing, and it makes me really sad to think of these people having to go through that on their own. So the story is very simple. You follow the life of a man in New York, I think, who is addicted to sex, and that completely ruins his relationships and his life. I think the movie did a great job at showing you how you feel isolated, helpless, hopeless when you suffer from an addiction. I think it really made us feel very well the heavy weight that you feel when you're constantly thinking of something, when it's basically dictating your whole life. But there are way too many sex scenes in that movie, in my opinion, and I even skipped some of them. I can see why they decided to do it that way, because those sex scenes are not tasteful at all. They're disgusting and they're very rude. So that's a good illustration of how it is when you're addicted to something. You just want to get the shot of what you're addicted to. But I also feel like those sex scenes made the movie lose a lot when it comes to like it artistic and aesthetic side. I also think that very often not showing has more power, more strength, and more impact on people than showing, depending on how you do it. Currently I didn't have any battery anymore, so I'm going to conclude now. Let me know what you guys thought about these movies. If you watched them, let me know if you have any recommendations, and if you haven't watched these movies, definitely give them a go if you feel like you can handle them, because they're really quite shocking, but really great to watch, especially the first two, absolutely. I hope you enjoyed watching that, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!